Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. We all have great pleasure welcoming you to Android Study Jams 2022. Getting started, this is going to be an introductory session on how you set up Android Studio. If you've been in this area for a while, you would know Android Studio is the official IDE for Android app development. I mean, you would have heard of IntelliJ IDEA, right? So IntelliJ IDEA is what Android Studio is based upon. This is a very powerful code editor, and it gives you all the capabilities you would need to build up an Android app and get it started with. Right, so I'm going to guide you through an installation guide for how you set up Android Studio on Windows, followed by how you set it up on Ubuntu. And sadly, I wouldn't be able to show it to you on macOS based systems, but the experience is going to be pretty similar to what you see on Windows. So I believe you all wouldn't have a problem doing that. All right, getting started. So what you would want to do is pull up a browser window and right here, search for Android Studio. Right, so click on the first link that you all see, and it's pretty smart enough to detect what kind of OS you're running. So you would see Windows 64-bit. Now click on download Android Studio. You would see a few terms and conditions, which you would have to agree. And there you have the download button. So once you click on that, you're gonna have to wait for a while it downloads the installer. I have already downloaded the installer to show all of you. So I'm gonna move on to downloads, and yeah, there's my installer, right? So you double click, open it up. It's gonna take a little bit before it opens up. In case you're not in system admin, you're going to be asked for a password. Once you're done with that, you'll have your installer open. All right. So proceeding through the steps. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can of course mess up with the settings a little bit during the installation process. But I'm going to leave it at default settings just to ensure that all of us have a same startup scenario. All right, so you would see the space required is 2.5 GB. Ensure you have that amount of space. But ensure you have a good internet connection while you download it up. All right, so this is the folder that it directly installs to. You might want to change it, but I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, you might choose not to create shortcuts, but I'm going to again stick with the default settings. It's going to take a little bit before it installs the entire packages. So bear with me, please. Now it's almost done, and you can have it running. Well, great. All of you now have Android Studio installed in your systems. Now opening it up. Now this might be a little bit of a different experience for all of you because I have projects set up on my laptop already. But you all might be asked to select the version of the SDK you might want to install and all of that. So I'm going to guide you through that process on Ubuntu. So it's going to be the same experience here, but I sadly don't have that because I already have a few projects set up. You can also, just a few common editability settings, you can install and look them up if you'd like. Right, so I'm going to guide you through how you do it on Ubuntu, and there I'll probably show you all how you set up your SDK and which version would you likely install, and how you set up your Android virtual device manager. Right, so moving on to my VM. Right, so this is going to be a little bit of a different process compared to what we had on Windows. So what you would need to do is open up a browser, again, search for Android Studio. There's the first link. Again, you would see Linux 64-bit systems. Click on download, you have the same set of steps. Agree, and once you click on download, you will have a file being downloaded, which again, I have downloaded already to show all of you. Right, so it downloads on this folder. You would see this technical file. double click and you can extract the Android Studio folder. As you would see here, I would extract and choose a path to where I would like to extract. I'm going to be doing it in the downloads folder. So click on extract and it would take a little bit while it extracts the file. There we're done. Right. So here you would see this. Now I'm going to guide you through a couple of steps that you would need to follow. That you would need to follow while you set this up on Ubuntu. Right. So you would need a couple of required libraries to run this, right? So what I would suggest all of you is click on the user guide and you would see install Android Studio here, just to keep you guys, all of you, in sync with what we're doing. So there's the process for Windows. Here's it for Mac, and yeah. Right, so you would see, you would need a few specific libraries. So you might want to hit copy on this and open up a terminal, paste that, and now it would ask you for your password for sudo access. I already have them installed, so it would look something like this. Now you would again might want to look at the video to what you would need to do further, because there's a couple of more steps. I mean, just in case you don't keep track at what I'm doing. But what you would need to do is you would need to move the installer to your user/bin folder. So I'm going to do that. Sorry. You would get your downloads folder and then you would see Android Studio. You would move it to user/local. Oh, I'm sorry, you would need to go back to your home directory to do that. Right, so now I would run the same command. Yeah, now we would navigate to the folder that we just moved Android Studio to, which would be cd user/local. Now you might want to look up, you have a folder called Android Studio, so we would navigate there again, cd Android Studio. And now what we're going to do is we're going to run this shell script to install Android Studio. So that would be studio.sh. I'm sorry. Yeah, we would need to navigate to the bin folder. Apologize that. So if you look it up, you have a bin folder in the beginning. So you need to do cd bin, and then you would need to run your shell script. And that's going to be taking up a little bit. Right, so this is your welcome screen. This is how it would look if you would install it for the first time on a Windows system. You would click on next. You might want to stick up with the standard default settings, but again, if you know what you're doing, you feel free to choose what you would like to. Right, so I would go with the dark mode. You would see a list of components being installed. You might want to stick with the default settings. It's going to take up a little bit of time while it sets everything up. Please do bear with me while this sets up. You would have pretty similar experience to the one you had in Windows on Mac OS systems. So I don't think any of you would have a problem, but feel free to reach out to us if you have any problem setting it up, because this is an integral part of what we would need in the sessions coming up. It's going to be a really exciting set of sessions we have planned for you next week. Right, so here we have Android Studio set up, and there you see the similar window. So, I mean, we have the sessions next week, right? Unless they come up, I mean, until the time they come up, you might want to explore on your own. So you might want to hit on create new project. You don't have to worry about any of this right now. We're going to be guiding you all through all the steps that you would need. But you might just want to, feel free and just click on anything just to see how it looks. You don't have to bother about anything at this moment. That's your project setup at the moment, and just feel free to click around and just mess around with everything. Don't mess around with the settings because that's gonna mess it up unless you know what you're doing, of course. Yeah, that's it. You might also want to set up SDK, your AVD manager, which is an Android virtual device. Please don't feel overwhelmed by the amount of terms that we're using. If you don't realize what it is, we'll guide you through every bit of it. Right, so you can create your own Android virtual device, which is basically a phone running on your system, right? Like you run VMs, you can similarly run phones. Just feel free to set up anything you all feel you would like to. And I hope all of you had a good experience setting Android Studio up. And I'm looking forward to a great series of sessions with all of you. So feel free to reach out to any of us, and if you have any queries or doubts, I'll catch all of you up in the sessions. Thank you for listening.